Hello, it's Philippa Blatt here from Chris and Philly Functional Medicine. I'm on a mission to end body burnout for good in high achieving parents, especially you mamas out there, because we are juggling a lot when you're working, running your business, caring for your kids, keeping your partner happy, and trying to fit in self-care. A lot of things can then lead you to having, if your body can start failing you when you're juggling all the things, feeling overwhelmed, stress, leading to energy, mood, and gut issues. And I am here to break this pattern and this cultural pattern, which leads to burnout. So I wanted to do a video today on productivity. And if you've been following socials and our emails, you know that we've been talking a lot about 2022 and new goals, new intentions, and also just getting your health in order, because we don't want to have another repeat of 2020, 2021, pandemic going crazy, and the people whose bodies are failing them aren't doing so well at the moment, whether that's because you've actually cracked COVID or you've had other sort of COVID related issues, or just the amount of stress that so many people are under. Lockdowns, homeschooling, rapid changes. So we're now in not lockdown, but COVID cases are increasing. And, there's a lot of stress and a lot of uncertainty, especially for those who are running businesses. It can be a big, scary time at the moment. So anyway, we want to help you get your health in order. And I wanted to do a video today on productivity, because when you're feeling exhausted, when you're feeling anxious, stressed, and overwhelmed, and when you're feeling really inflamed, whether that's gut issues, PMS, headaches, really hard to be productive in work and also as a parent and in life. And back in November, I was actually featured in Forbes. So that's the entrepreneurial a journal or magazine to help entrepreneurs. So that was a pretty cool that I was featured in that on my expert commentary and what I've seen clinically in regards to productivity or signs that your productivity is a real problem. So if you're struggling with things like work, the demands of work, if you feel like your brain just isn't functioning the way it used to, or like you're constantly feeling cluttered and overwhelmed, then this video you will want to listen in, because I'm going to highlight some signs that can show that, Houston, we've got a problem and that you need to get on top of it before things get worse. So back in the day when I was younger, or, when moms were younger, pre-kids, you might have been a bit like how I used to be. I could juggle 5 different projects. I was studying, I was working, I was running a business and, doing multiple things, volunteer work, having fun. And, you're juggling all these things, and rarely, potentially back before you were younger, before kids, you felt stressed and burnt out. But now you might find that you're struggling to even do 2 things at the same time. And it's probably making you wonder, is there something wrong with you? So here are 7 signs that your productivity is a real problem, or the drop of it. And it's likely pointing to or causing some serious physical, mental, or behavioral issues. So energy, mood, or gut issues is often what we see. So number 1 is multitasking to the extreme. So if you feel like you're multitasking to the extreme, you need to have your little warning signals blinkering right now. Historically, if we look back in time, women, especially working moms, have been stereotypically categorized as exceptional multitaskers. So, and even many women often wear a badge of honor and pride themselves in juggling business and work and the kids and the partner and study and hobbies and household chores. However, it's very interesting that research is now showing that multitasking actually lowers IQ. Can you believe that? It's crazy. It actually shrinks the gray matter in your brain, and it reduces productivity by a massive 40%. And if you're a chronic multitasker and you're now feeling stressed, overwhelmed, burnt out, exhausted, you're probably feeling this when you're trying to multitask. and it gets really hard to get stuff done, even though the multitasking is probably because you've got a million things on your to-do list and you're trying to get everything done. So not only will this increase or decrease, your productivity, but it's also been shown by research to cause a lot of anxiety, fear, and even sadness. Like when you're trying to multitask to the extreme, juggling all the things, not only does your productivity drop, but you literally just become sad. You lose joy in why you're even trying to do all the things in the first place. And that is not a happy place to be. Number two, second sign that I see is poor time management. So if you feel like you're constantly feeling scattered and torn, being torn from one side to the other, and you're feeling a bit like an organizational or maybe an emotional mess, this will also really drop your productivity. So research shows that poor time management is a big cause of inefficiency at work. If you feel like you're constantly chasing your tail or like you're stuck on a never-ending merry-go-round, something isn't quite right with how you think and behave. So we're always looking for root causes. If you've got poor management, why is that? Poor management is important to health. Often one of the root causes is that you're simply not prioritizing things of highest value. A third sign that I see when we're thinking about productivity becoming a real problem is that women are saying yes too often. Especially mamas have the inherent desire to help others. A lot of women are what we call obligers, where you're maybe even martyrs or people pleasers, where you're just trying to put everyone else before yourself, your kids, your clients, your customers, your partner, your colleagues, your friends, your family, putting everyone else first before yourself. And these types of people say yes, yes, yes to too many jobs or career opportunities, or you might be saying yes to helping out your sister with her kids or your husband with his needs. And at the end of the day, you end up putting yourself last, which just leads to burnout, body burnout. You start developing those energy, mood, and gut issues. It does lead to a decrease in productivity because of how exhausted you feel, how inflamed you feel. As I always say, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So if you're saying yes, yes, yes too often, again, think about these little warning signals that something isn't quite right in your life. Number four, sign of productivity being a real problem is brain fog. So I want to start talking about some physical symptoms now that can erupt due to burning the candle at both ends. So brain fog is a very common symptom that can occur when you're feeling really overwhelmed and taxed. So chronic stress can literally cause your neurotransmitters such as adrenaline, dopamine, serotonin to literally deplete. And when these neurotransmitters are depleted, it can result in neurological symptoms such as brain fog, lack of concentration, reduced mental clarity, and also forgetfulness. All of these issues, as you probably know if you experience brain fog, puts a knife in your productivity. I can't even count how many women we have worked with, men as well, who are just trying to like swim their way through life of having brain fog. It just really slows everything down. Number five sign of productivity being a real problem is fatigue. So if you're noticing that you're struggling to get out of bed in the morning, maybe you're needing to have a nap at 3 p.m. or feeling like you need to nap at 3 p.m. or you're crashing at 7 p.m., then lady, you've got some energy issues. So fatigue is a common sign of body burnout, and it will inevitably lead to or affect your productivity and ability to get work done. So if you're a busy entrepreneur or, a high performance working woman, while you're also juggling a family, your stress hormones are likely working in overtime to try and help you keep up with this fast-paced, busy life. So chronic stress is never good. Even good stress, like you can have good stress, like organizing a wedding or going on a holiday. All of these stresses, your body can't sort between the two. And so the more types of stresses you have, whether that's good or bad stress, whether that's just busyness and putting on big projects, it can cause your, big word here, hypothalamus pituitary gland adrenal axis, or what I would call the HPA axis, to start acting dysfunctionally. This can cause a drop of your stress hormones, so cortisol and DHEA, which are like your get up and go hormones. And then that can result in a fatigue, which is why we call the HPA axis imbalance adrenal fatigue. One of those common signs is fatigue. So the sixth problem that your productivity is a real problem is anxiety. So feeling anxious and worried all the time can also affect your productivity big time. You might start second guessing yourself. You might stop trying new things or taking entrepreneurial risks. You might, due to feeling fear of the unknown. What if you fail? What if whatever? It can absolutely, when you're feeling anxious all the time and overthinking everything all the time, it can absolutely squash your ability to play and be creative, which is a big part of being productive. So a depletion of both your neurotransmitters and also your stress hormones due to chronic stress can absolutely ramp up feelings of anxiety. And anyone feeling anxiety out there, especially if you're like juggling all the things, it's an absolutely big sign that you need help. And the last sign, number 7, is pain. So are you constantly feeling achy? You're struggling with a sore back or tense, tight shoulders, or maybe you're suffering with headaches or gut pain or period issues. Pain is your body screaming out to you to stop. It's screaming at you that you've gone too hard for too long. And this stuff, pain, can really squash your work output. So if things get bad enough, you'll likely have to take time off work, or you might have to throw the towel in from your business altogether, and that is no fun. So I did struggle with burnout, body burnout, absolutely. Prior to kids, I had completed a PhD and I also worked in academia. So already I was in like a super high stressed, high performance industry, I guess, environment. And I was overworking and I wasn't prioritizing my own self-care. And then I had kids, adding in the physical and emotional stress of having babies, and my health issues really erupted. And this sent me spiraling into a bit of fatigue and anxiety and chronic pain and low immunity. I was even developing EMF and chemical sensitivities as well. Plus, I was also trying to juggle extra studies and running a business and being CEO of the house and mothering. Talk about massive amounts of multitasking and saying yes, yes, yes too often. Quickly, I found over time, everything started to unravel. I struggled to concentrate on the publications that I was trying to write. I would forget clients' names even when they were sitting in front of me and I'd known them for months, even years. I kept making silly errors in work and I was literally losing joy in my career, and also in my family life. And when I started sorting out my own body and my mental health through functional medicine, which included a combo of lab testing and natural medicines, lifestyle mindset and behavioral medicine, my productivity finally bounced back. But this time I was actually doing less, not more, and finding I could achieve far more than ever before. I'd tried to really worked through the multitasking, saying yes too much, addictive doing, and I was doing less, but being more productive. We actually had a client, Lara. She was amazing. I love this lady. She ran for state parliament, I think it was last year, and she came to us prior to that feeling really stuck and overwhelmed. I've actually got written down here her little testimonial that I'd love to read. So she said, I came to Chris and Philly struggling with weight and the need to declutter the busyness from my life. I was feeling very stressed and overwhelmed, like I was on a merry-go-round. If it wasn't for these two amazing people, that's me and Chris, and their functional medicine program, I could never have survived the energy required to run for the Liberal team in this state election. It's a whole lot of crazy miles and hours to ensure I engage with as many people as possible to understand what matters to them so I can truly represent. The program mentally and physically prepared me to be able to do that. Yay, that is so cool. Anyone who knows Henry Ford, he famously said, improved productivity means less human sweat, not more. So being more productive doesn't mean doing more or working harder. Productivity is actually less about what you do with your time and more about how you run your mind and how well your body is running also. So what can you do now? If you're really struggling with productivity, feeling insanely busy, feeling overwhelmed, feeling burnt out, struggling with energy, mood, or gut issues, we're going to run a free 4-day, I think it is, or 3 or 4 day challenge this month to help you get your life in order. It's going to help you get organized so you can prioritize your health and do the things that you need to do to end your body burnout for good. At the end of the day, this is going to help you increase energy. It's going to help you manage stress and overwhelm better so that you're not so anxious and moody all the time. It's going to help reduce inflammation by reducing stresses, and it's going to help you just get really clear on the important things you need to do in order to get healthy. At the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, what is burnout costing you? I can tell you from experience, it is likely costing you a lot more than just feeling crappy. It's probably costing you your productivity, your work output, maybe affecting your work, your career, your business, likely affecting your relationships in your family, showing up as dragon mom, zombie mom, and even it's compromising your immunity, which is something that we really need right now during this COVID pandemic. So anyway, I'll pop in the show notes. I'll pop in the video notes, the link to sign up to the challenge. If you would love to participate, we only have a limited amount of spaces. So get in quick if you want to join us for the challenge. All right, see you guys.